My grind till our cars start to hover. Every day I'm thinking, I'm wondering if I made it. Skeletons in my closet, I got demons in my basement. Trying to think like a pro, time practice my meditation.
What's up, everybody? We are back, and what a video to come back to. So just gonna hop right into it. Honestly, I made this video because Anthem has been getting a pretty bad rep, and I just wanted to chime in on it. I am pretty much loving the game so far, and pretty much all of the complaints I've been hearing is kind of like stuff that doesn't really have a forbearance on what's going on right now. In the background, you'll see some, I think, what the Scar mine that I'm doing as far as gameplay goes. So video, I'm trying to not make it super long, but just some stuff that I want to put my input on. And, you know, if you guys are still on the fence about picking up Anthem after 2 weeks of it being out, hopefully this video will, you know, just give you a little bit, shine a little bit more light on it. So some of the main issues that I've been reading about is the loot system. Now, while I agree it does need to be fine-tuned, it's not terrible. Some reports and reviews say that it's absolutely god-awful, but when you run a stronghold or a raid type situation, you're guaranteed a high-level piece of gear as soon as you beat it. Now, not only do you get a high-level piece of gear when you beat it, but you also run the chance of getting a high-tier piece of gear when you open up other chests, and enemies also drop them as well. So it's not like, you know, you're not going to get them. I mean, it's a guaranteed piece. And honestly, in my opinion, that makes the grind that much better. I mean, you know you're going to be getting that gear once you load the mission. So it's just a matter of what you'll get. And in my opinion, it's way better than the old style of praying for even if you get a drop at all. I mean, how many times have we played, you know, Crota's Inn and we don't get any type of, you know, anything at all, let alone a good piece of gear, and, you know, we're stuck. So honestly, I just think that that's just one of those things where it's going to work itself out as time goes on. I mean, every week they're updating the loot system. They're trying new things. They're trying better things. And it's honestly, it's making the game fun. And I like that. Now, while the high tier loot has perks, and, you know, each one has a different role, you know, you get, obviously you're going to get the same weapon multiple times, but each one has a different role on it, has different stats, things like that. Now, we used to have that back in Destiny 1, where we would sit up there and we would, you know, farm for the same weapon over and over and over again, and each one had a different stat role. And then we eventually got that god role that we were looking for. That's what Anthem is doing. Now, I have this one weapon for my Colossus that you see. Whenever I do my R1 gear attack, I get 35% of my health back. That is awesome. Now, the Titan only has a health bar because, you know, it also has the shield that you see me use so much. But at the same time, it's like, I use that shield, and then when I'm running low on health, bang out my one attack, which does massive amounts of damage and gets me back 35% of my health. So farming for that is actually pretty good. And then the stats that I have on it are also good. So farming for these weapons and for these masterworks, it isn't a chore like it used to be in other games. It's actually fun because you do get these god rolls and you get these awesome rolls. And I mean, there's multiple like, you know, strongholds and everything that we're doing. And some of them, like I think the one that we're currently doing, there's like 3 treasure chests which give you a high chance of getting legendaries, masterworks, high tier gear, and then you're already guaranteed high tier gear at the end of completing it. So honestly, like, it's good. I mean, they did good with this loot system, in my opinion. I mean, I'm coming from, Destiny 1, Division 1, Destiny 2, and, maybe I'll get Division 2, but from the loot system that I've been playing over the years, this by far is one of my favorite loot systems that I've been playing in a looter shooter. And I mean a lot. So obviously a build that maxes ammo drops and clip size is desired because I like that for my Colossus, but also putting out a lot of DPS and, doing stuff that drops shields. That's the beauty of this loot system, and that all comes with different roles of your gun. So, I mean, farming and getting the same weapon multiple times is legit, but you can also build different loadouts. So you can have a loadout that does max DPS. You can have a loadout that, grants health back to you. You can have a loadout for different strongholds. You can have a loadout for different missions. It's legit. It's a legit system that they built, and I love it. So that's just one thing that I've found that a lot of people are like having issues with, but me personally, I love it. So that's all I'm saying. Next, I hear a lot about load screens. Now, honestly, it's nothing new about load screens, people. Come on. Like, seriously, Grand Theft Auto has had one of the longest load screens in the history of man. And no one bats an eye about it. Like, honestly, like, you can start up GTA 5, Red Dead 2, go downstairs, make a sandwich, come back up, and it's still loading. Especially when you go to online mode. And then you get booted as soon as you get back on. So, honestly, like, these complaints about load screens, come on, man. Seriously, get over it. Like, no, not to be rude to anybody, but seriously, load times happen. It's a large world. It has a lot going on. It happens. Get over it. Also here, actually, one of my good friends on Facebook, me and him were talking about, well, it doesn't look like it did at E3. Now, I totally agree on this, but the cinematic that was shown was obviously not going to be the same as the game. But me and him both have been talking about this, and the gameplay did change also. But most of the things that changed was done to better the game. One of the things was the HUD. The old HUD for Anthem, when it was in the reveal stages, was kind of bland and, didn't really pop out. The current HUD, including when you fly and everything, that's totally different. That's revamped and giving you that little reticle as you're flying. It actually gives the game a bit more of a technical feeling when you fly. I mean, you can go from fly to hover, hover to fly. If you're dependent on your build, you dash in the air and stuff like that. It's better for how the game feels overall. And not only that, but a lot of the load times and everything can be affected by that. So a lot of stuff that was in the cinematic trailer and in the reveal trailer, a lot of that stuff was taken out, in my opinion, to better the game, to better load times, to better the growing world. I mean, the game's only been out for 2 weeks now, and already they're talking about the update for Shaper Storms, more free play events, things like that. So all of this stuff is happening, and if you would have left some of the other stuff in there, like, it would have fell by the wayside. Now we saw this again in a game like Destiny 1, Destiny 2. We saw this. You have the mine, the what are those things that came crashing down onto the planet and everything? I can't remember what they're called, but those things, they would come crashing down onto the planet, and you would run over to them. When the game first came out, public event, let's everybody rush over there, let's everybody get on that. And everybody runs over, and you hold down the position, and then next thing you know, the Rasputin mine things, you don't get anything from it. You get a little bit of XP, you get some notoriety, and that's it. You don't get any drops. But here in Anthem, you get a public event, and you're getting good loot, like okay loot at the least. And then when you get it, if you don't want it, break it down. Now you have, items to get other stuff. So again, I just think a lot of people are being like overly critical of the game, and me personally, I think it's unwarranted. Another thing that people are saying is that the game ended too fast. Now, one of my fellow YouTubers, Mr. Stokes, oh man, why can't I remember his name? Boss Knight on PSN. He said that the game ended too fast. Now, he beat the game at I think he beat the story level. I think he said level 14. Now he had early access, and a lot of things that he's been saying were pretty much related to that early access. The day one patch stuff, I really personally didn't see happening. I did play for a couple days with early access, and yes, it was a bit glitchy, but after that day one patch, about a good 70% of the issues that a lot of people were having disappeared. Now, if you had that early access, I'll come back to that in just a second, but honestly, at level 14, when I played through on console, I wasn't even halfway through the story. Now, I finished the story and I did most of the side missions, and I think I was level 22. And then when I did the rest of the side missions, or not even the rest, because I still have a lot of side missions to do, or contracts, I'm doing strongholds and everything, and doing everything on hard mode got me to level 30 quick. Now, a lot of complaints that I've been hearing is that people are running into a wall where they're, slow to level up fast. They get stuck at, level 26, the XP isn't coming in as fast, or the gear isn't as great. Well, I leveled up to level 30, and then I started doing strongholds on Grandmaster level, and then my gear score went up from 300 to 4 something, where I am now with my Colossus. And that's not even me using my other 3 characters that I have unlocked. I still have 3 other characters that I still have to use. So the game isn't going to get boring for me. I'm almost max level. Well, I'm a max pilot level, but my power level isn't max yet. So I'm going to be grinding for that for a minute, and then after that, then I'm going to start the process all over again, because I have 3 other characters that I want to use. So it's replayable, it's fun, the grinding is good again. Destiny 1, the grinding was good, getting those god rolls and things like that, but we don't have that anymore. They took that out in Destiny 2. There are no more god rolls. You get that one weapon and that's it. That was a big mistake, man. So that's all I'm gonna say. And again, like I said, some of the biggest issues that were voiced, they come from those who had the early access. But again, that day one patch that came out for consoles, Xbox, PS4, had that day one patch, because, well, mostly PS4, because Xbox got early access as well. But those issues were fixed. A lot of people on PS4 never saw any of those issues. So honestly, since things got fixed, so fast, and whenever there is a major issue, BioWare hops on it. Even EA and Sony are getting together and fixing these issues as soon as they become an issue, and they're fixing them. So honestly, a lot of the reviews that I've been seeing online, it's kind of like they're reviewing the beta. Hardly anybody has been saying, oh, the final build, when the game came out on the 22nd and I fully went through the game. You can't possibly say that on the 22nd, then on the 24th, just 2 days later, that you played the game, that you experienced the game. There's still stuff that I'm learning about the game 2 weeks in, as far as, building gear, what the little symbols mean, the cog, the full body, the shields, the diamonds, all of that stuff. You can't possibly tell me that you knew what all of that stuff meant met, and built your character accordingly based on knowledge of that within a couple days, because it's impossible to have done so. So again, a lot of the early reviews and a lot of the people who were talking bad about the game early, I think that it was unwarranted, and I think you guys really just need to give it another go. I'm not saying delete your progress, because that would suck, but I mean, just give the game a fair chance, man. Just, dive into it a little bit better, because we did so much more with so much less of a game, 6 years ago. And trust me, I'm one of the faithful people. I have Destiny 1. I've been with Destiny since the pre-alpha, like the early alpha. That's when I got into Destiny. Like every single DLC I have up to the current one, which I didn't even play, but I bought the season pass and I haven't even played it, because Anthem is so much better as far as the looter shooter, and I'm just having so much fun with it. Now, I know it sounds like I'm fanboying, but honestly, the issues with the game are surface deep, in my opinion. And there are no worse than, like I said, Division and Destiny. The only difference is that they were given years to get it together. And honestly, like, Destiny 2 is still pretty bad when it comes to some of this stuff. Like, a lot of people always say, oh, I keep getting booted from Anthem. Well, I still get booted from Destiny 2 when I do play it. Division, I still get booted from that. And that's been, around for a while. I mean, the beta for Division 2 just came out, or it was out last weekend. Now, I won't say too much about that, because again, it was the beta. So, let it slide. But when Division 2 comes out, I'm pretty sure we'll have some issues. But I doubt that it will have the same complaints and the same amount of, just overall hatred that Anthem is getting. So that's the thing that, kind of like, rubs me the wrong way when I've been getting, into things, online especially. But Anthem, you have like a super active community, and they're fine tuning the game like every week. Like even later on today, it's March 6th, 2019, and at 4:00 Eastern time for 4 hours, they're going to be doing like a live play, and they're going to be showing us or letting us know, hey guys, this is the update you're getting very soon, and oh yeah, and this is the next patch that's coming. Like, so they're very like into it with the community. They're letting us know that they're standing by this game. They're going to be here. Anthem is going to be here. So, I mean, yeah, EA isn't the best company, because I know everyone hates EA with a passion, but this doesn't pull from a good looter shooter. Just because EA is the devil, in some people's opinion, it doesn't mean that Anthem is a horrible game, because the mechanics are fun, they're intuitive, they make sense. Like when you hop on and you first get in your javelin and you start doing stuff, like it makes sense. It just does. It works. If the Division and Destiny took hints from Anthem, they would be a better game. And like, just as far as like the DPS, ads, builds, customization, loadouts, everything like that, they would be better games. So that's pretty much all I have to say on this. Pretty sure we're going to be doing more videos. We're going to be dropping some live chats. We're going to be streaming more this year. This year is going to be a good year for Wickedthumbz. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you like to see on the channel? Really not going to do too much as far as like extra to this video. This was just, something I'm just throwing up. Hopefully it helps you out to make a decision on the game. If you're still on the fence, watch some of our gameplay. We do have a lot of fun. We really don't see that many glitches or errors, but when we do, I mean, you'll see it for yourself. So that's all I got for today. I'll catch you guys next time. It's Dark Light Lou for Wickedthumbz, and happy gaming to everybody.
Trying to dance up on a shorty, and if I got a cup, it gotta be Henny only. And if I got a bottle, I pass it around to my homies. She looking like a model, she striking the poses for me. My rocket on full throttle, baby girl, my muscle honest.